Hey YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives with a zero tolerance knife designed by Rick Hinderer. Yes, this is the ZT0562. It has a textured G10 handle scale on this side, beveled for comfort, open pillar construction with 4 standoffs. The Lockbar side is titanium, stone washed with a Hinderer Lockbar stabilizer there. Black pocket clip. Pocket clip is also stone washed. Features a KVT bearing system in the pivot with a flipper as your opener and perfect one finger deployment. You do not have to flick your wrist at all. Here is the lockup. Nice early lockup, and it is rock solid. There is no movement there whatsoever, and there is a steel insert on the lock bar. Yeah, a little piece of paper just fly off. Let's try a very slow cut. Yeah, the initial sharpness on this, just awesome. That KVT bearing system is quite incredible. This thing opens super smooth. All right, I am left-handed, but I have no problem opening it with either hand. Now, this is designed correctly, even though it is a frame lock knife. It is designed in such a way that even if you are left-handed, you are not going to impede the opening by accidentally pressing on the lock bar. And as far as the shape of that flipper, it's a perfect shape. I wish every knife had that KVT. Every flipper knife needs that, and a flipper with that shape. Just perfect. Now the blade has a flat grind. You know, there's a bevel there. Then beyond that, that is a flat grind. That Hinderer slicer design is excellent for its namesake, slicing through. Now this is the very first knife that I've had that features Elmax steel, so I can't really speak about the Elmax steel. I don't have experience with it yet, but time will tell. The overall feel of this knife is extremely high quality. The ergonomics are very similar to the Rick Hinderer knives that go for $800 and up. Okay, so it's got the winning ergonomics, time tested. Jimping here, finger grooves there. Yeah, perfect. I mean, perfect in your hand, perfect for that slice. The whole design, I mean, it looks very nice. Just all these different parts, it totally flows into one very attractive package. And the centering on mine, perfect. And here is my current zero tolerance collection, including one Kershaw. I'll talk about that in a minute. All right, and here's the newest knife, the 0562. To the right of that is my ZT200, my very first ZT knife. I got it a number of years ago. Next to that is a 0780 from Zero Tolerance. And then over here, this is the 0770 carbon fiber and M390. Check out my previous review of that knife. I will include a link. All right, and this is a Kershaw Knockout. A very good knife. This is Kershaw is not the same company as ZT, but they are sister companies as they are both owned by Kai. Okay, so yeah, I like both of those companies quite a bit, so I figured I'd show a representative from Kershaw. And briefly, just a closer look at each of these. The 200, super heavy duty. This one, it's a great, it's a lighter knife. All right, great piercing ability, easier to carry. And this, again, check out my review. A very, very cool knife with a super steel. With the super steel. And the Kershaw Knockout. Look at that blade shape. Very highly recommended. The Kershaw Knockout. By doing this collaboration with Zero Tolerance, Hinderer and ZT have basically allowed us access to a high quality production knife, okay, that's just going to be, more widely available and more affordable than the midtechs and customs that are $800 and up. And I hate to say it, but this knife, it's about 95% as good as the Hinderer knives that cost 4 to 5 times as much. And that's not to diss those knives, that's just to indicate basically how high quality this production knife is. If you're the type who's always wanted to own a Hinderer, and who the hell doesn't, I still want to get one of his customs or mid-techs, but in the meantime, this would be perfect for you. Overall, the smoothness of the pivot and the deployment, A+. The lockup, A+. Centering and fit and finish of this knife, I have to give it an A+. The initial sharpness of that edge, again, I got to give it an A+. The ergonomics of use of handling, I got to give it an A+ again. Yeah, I have to say, in terms of the current knife market, ZT has been going strong. They are on a roll. These days with the internet, any tiny thing wrong with any knife model, the news spreads like wildfire. ZT has a sterling reputation. Because of my channel, a lot of people talk to me about knives, obviously. And yeah, from all reports, they have a sterling reputation, and it's very hard these days to earn that reputation, because there's people on the internet that'll take the entire knife apart and look at every tiny part, under a magnifying glass and post it all on the internet. So any knife that can stand up to that scrutiny, any knife company that still comes out with a good reputation, that is well deserved. Okay, well, in conclusion, I'm quite happy with this newest acquisition I have from Zero Tolerance, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it. And in the comments, if you want to see any other ZT models, new ones or ones coming out, let me know what you want to see. All right, and I'll consider it. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.